8:30 a.m. right now. I just got to the track, and then Bear found out that he has to work today. What are you doing? Wiring us up the
fuel pumps are overcurrenting because they're running like 85 to 90 psi of fuel pressure. So then it's just drawing a lot of amps. So then it's overcurrenting. So then now we have to wire in some relays, just get over this just to make it work.
Yeah.
So they can run on track. Because the fuel pump is cutting out at high RPM, high boost, high fuel pressure. So yep. Working on my day off.
Where did he get all this stuff?
Looks like autos.
Just had it already? He had it in a Forever 21 bag though, so.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Where are we grabbing power from? From the battery? Yeah. Just from the stud on top of the medium. Yeah, wire strippers? What? Wire strippers? Gotcha. I'm told the wire. Guys, wire strippers? Nope.
Somebody had a razor blade, I saw.
Oh, a razor blade?
Yeah, you guys had a razor blade earlier. That'll work too.
Yeah, we're gonna get strippers. Or razor blade will work too. We have strippers.
Yeah.
Mike's got some of this. Just trying to set all this up.
You guys didn't know, Ryan, or Durr as we call him, does wiring for a living. But you guys should know that by now.
So this goes to the pump to the relay? Okay. Probably like this long.
Yeah. You sure you fit in there?
Let me see.
It's weird to not be covering spoon stuff today.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I was coming to watch.
Yeah, now we're working on Evos. Yeah.
I'm all deep in this.
Where do you go straight? Later, Brian. Yeah.
But Dai's here today, right?
Yeah, he's driving the Evasive
Supra
86
yeah.
and the Supra. I don't know if he's here yet, though.
Yeah.
Oh, we got.
It's definitely unexpected.
Sacrifice some of this wire.
So, how are things?
Pretty good. So we tested last weekend and it was really solid after we made a ton of changes to the car. But this is the first time, like last weekend I was on tires that were a year old. We ran them at last Super Lap battle. This is the first time it's been on fresh tires. We have a bigger tire in the rear now that Yokohama imports this to the US. And the car is crazy. It feels like a totally different car. It was sketchy before. Now it's easy to drive, feels fast. The power is crazy. We turned up the boost. We've been on low boost basically nonstop. Since the car was finished, we turned it up on Thursday. It's now Saturday at like 1 a.m. Kristian and I were just doing some street tuning. And some pretty big changes since last year. Last year, as you saw, it was plagued with issues. We didn't even do a single flying lap. The 159
Yeah,
we
there
did.
was no testing last year.
There was no testing last year. We finished the car the Saturday. We didn't run it all Saturday. We finished it at like 6 p.m. Saturday. On Sunday, the 3 hot laps we would have put down were blocked. And looking at the data, they actually would have been competitive, which is kind of crappy. But so we came this year. We made a ton of changes to the car. Putting a K in an NSX proved to be more challenging than initially thought. Like normally if you take it from like an RSX into a Civic, it's pretty easy. With this, there were a lot of weird things that normally don't happen on swaps because these swaps have been done forever. And then when they've been done into NSXs, they've either been like roll race cars or street cars, so you never really earn boost for a long time. And the biggest change that happened is down here, like the turbo used to be right here. So obviously that led for cool videos of nearly sucking in a vacuum hose that I was called out on like 1,000 times.
Yeah, that was fun.
But that's obviously not there anymore. The guys at Proto Machine, Riley and Mike over there, did an awesome job. And they bottom mounted the turbo, so you can see it. The turbo is now down here. So we've got the turbo, we've got a scavenge pump, titanium exhaust that they fabricated, completely custom bottom mount manifold. And that proved, so we did that, and the car was awesome. The fabrication wasn't going to break because we broke the manifold twice last year.
Yeah, what was the purpose for moving the turbo down there though?
So two things. Number one, we broke the manifold twice.
Yeah.
So the car, both events, and even just driving to a meet, it broke the manifold. So we wanted to get something where the quality was higher.
Yeah.
And then also the weight up high, it being a race car, we want to get everything as low as possible. So we dropped the turbo down about 1.5 feet, and the turbo and all of the associated plumbing is really heavy. We also moved the intercooler, which is down here now, which is in the top before. Right here, right? Yeah, exactly. So the intercooler's right there. So it had like a twofold thing. Number one, it made the car much easier to work on. It took us like, we had a host of issues with an engine and like transmission, every issue you could have imagined last year, Kristian and I. And we had to drop the engine like 4 or 5 times, and each time.
But it's still the same K20Z that's in there.
Yeah, same one that Loy from Sport Car Motion built.
Yeah.
So it's literally been the same exact one. He did a great job with that. We're happy. Same engine, just the turbo's now lower. It dropped the center of gravity of the turbo like probably about 1.5 feet. Same with the intercooler. Car's easier to work on. Fabrication is more reliable. That's by far the biggest thing.
There's so much more room in there now. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice. I can put things like swirl pods and catch cans and all this stuff that before was like really hard to squeeze in there.
Yeah.
It also just was really ugly. So now it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
And then once that was sorted out, our problems were pretty much good. We went through a host of issues, just little things like the brakes would just randomly stop working, the booster would.
Yeah.
Found out that on the C series, they put the one-way valve in the back. So we didn't have that. So brakes would be fine. After a long straightaway, it pressurized the booster.
Oh.
Instead of having vacuum, car wouldn't stop. Fix that.
All right, folks. Group 1, Section 1.
Is that you?
9-minute
Oh,
call
we got 9
grid.
minutes. We'll be okay.
Group 1, Section 1. This is your
Plenty of
9-minute call grid. We will go hot
and
at
then-
9:45.
The next
Group
biggest issue
1,
that we had
Section 1,
was,
9-minute
or
call
I guess
grid.
I'll stick with
We'll go
the
hot
turbo
at
mount. We ran it, everything was
9:45.
good. We're like, okay, the turbo's in a place where we want it, the fabrication's good, everything's good. But then we ran it and it basically would just dump oil into the exhaust, like to the point where the exhaust would be full like, with a pool of oil. Found a one-way valve we had to do there. Lots of other just stupid things to make that work.
Yeah.
And then the other big problem that we had was the car ran perfectly in streets. We went out in testing without a 5th gear, old tires, narrow tires. We beat what was the street class record. So we were like, cool, the car's gonna be rad. Take it out to Chuckwalla, it wouldn't complete a lap. So we're like, okay, and this was probably 4 weeks ago. We found that with the K series, the water pump on the K isn't that great, which isn't a big deal for the radiators in the front. But when you have like 20,
That much
30
travel.
feet of cooling system, it's not a big deal under low RPM, but when you're on track and you're constantly high RPM, what happens is the pressure isn't enough in the front of the pump, so behind the pump, it just cavitates it because it can't keep up.
Yeah.
So it would get a bunch of air pockets and it would look like we weren't bleeding the system, or we had, the heads were lifting, we couldn't tell what it was. So we fixed a lot of little things, found out it was none of those, and found out that what was happening was basically cavitation. So we added a Mazir water pump in the front. So the car has 2 water pumps now. And then we added a swirl pot in the back from Track Tough. I talked to him, he kind of helped
Where's the
us
swirl
with the idea. It's kind of hidden. So. The swirl pot's back here. So it's that little guy right there.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so it's kind of tucked away in there. He made a custom one to fit with like the piping and everything.
Yeah.
Dash 20 lines. So we did those 2 things, ran it last weekend and drove like 20 laps, no problem. So that's all solved there.
Yeah.
Suspension changed. Billy Johnson was kind enough, you know, he basically drove the 4GT in Le Mans. He was kind enough to give me a lot of information on the coilovers. He designed these for KW, so I hit him up and he helped me kind of change a few things. I had a direction I wanted to go. He reinforced it, so the car feels awesome today. It's the best it's ever felt. And I think it's gonna be pretty quick.
Yeah. So the most important thing is you had time since
I had
last
a year. And it took a year. We finished this car last week.
Yeah.
So the car ran flawlessly for the first time at this track.
Yeah.
This last week. So it was just time. You're absolutely right.
So there's just a lot of development that took time instead of.
Time is no one's friend, man.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting to see what will happen today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, and I'm really excited. I just drove it with the setup changes. Last week it was a little bit murderous. You know, it went quick. Did a 51.0 with the issues.
Yeah.
And now it has more power, more tire, and we changed the suspension tune, and it feels awesome. So I think it's gonna be really quick.
Cool. All right, let's see. Microsoft
Yeah, it
Paint.
doesn't look very soft white.
I was trying to see what I can do is I can quickly add an overboost warning.
It looks good here.
Oh, okay, then we're fine. We're good?
Pretty solid.
Yeah, dude, the car feels
All
incredible.
right, guys, this is now the final call.
I can put down the
If you are
power
caught on
so
the
low.
wall, you will be banned from the hospital area. You will not be allowed here. It doesn't matter if you're a photographer, it doesn't matter if you're a paint guy, it doesn't matter if you're a fan girl. You need to stay off the wall.
Now I can like modulate it, no problem. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
We do it.
Thank you. Thank you for your link next week too.
Yay.
Almost dying.
Boy hugs. Yeah, it looks good to me there too. Yeah.
Squiggles.
Yeah.
Squiggles. Yeah, it looks good.
It's like a 3D printed salmon fillet.
Down salmon.
Well, yeah, Sarah and Brandon are competing today too.
It must feel so nice to have a I'm so
So,
Dude, kick me in the nuts.
how are things after the first session of the day?
So far, really good. Unfortunately, a car caught fire. Sorry for that guy. I feel bad for him. So I didn't even get to complete one hot lap,
Oh,
but the car felt really good. It for sure was a sub 50 lap,
yeah.
which is kind of what we need to be at. But I think I don't want to jinx myself, but I think it has the possibility to win the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in my class, and it feels faster than it's ever felt. So I'm gonna make some changes to the
So you're
to the data.
you're just putting the navigation unit back in now, or?
Yeah, I need to know when I'm going on track.
Oh yeah, AC.
Yeah, I need the AC again.
That's hot. It's right here. Don't worry.
Oh.
Copyright?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
CarPlay.
When you feel comfortable, you're at your peak.
Yeah.
So.
Siri, give me a hot lap.
Oh, what's up, dude? How are you? Good to see you. How's everything? Yeah. Good. Good. Right on. Yeah. So overall, car feels really good. I can't complain. It's the best it's ever felt. It doesn't even feel like the same car I had last weekend.
Nice.
It's like mind blowing.
Because you tested out here last weekend,
We were
right?
here, yeah, we were here last weekend. And like the record's a 48.3, I think.
Yeah.
And we did a 50.3 in the data, like just combining laps because there's so much traffic.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, it's quick, and that was still like low power, old tires, so it's like it's in contention.
Yeah.
And then we changed the setup, added some tire, and it's like it doesn't even feel like the same car. It's unreal. Like I expected it to be better. I didn't expect it to be this much better.
Nice.
Even if nothing comes of it and it sucks, and we don't win,
Yeah.
the car feels so good. I'm happy. So
We'll just suck less than last year.
it sucks way less than last year. Last year fucking sucked. Last year was 3 straight months of like no sleep, friends helping me to get everything done, and then on top of that, like the car barely made it thanks to a shitty engine and a couple of shitty drivetrain things,
Yeah.
and people just taking long to do things, like taking 3 times as long to do what they said they were gonna do. So I'm glad that it's good and it's happy. And that's the
Yeah.
important thing. Like
Well, we'll see.
everyone that's been involved did a good job, and I really appreciate you coming out here.
Thanks. I just came because you also wanted me to come. So.
Sounds right. Thanks, Yasu. Screw you, Joey.
So it's lunchtime now. The CSF Evo has caught on fire. Not at all at fault is Dirk because his wiring held up.
Yeah.
It was a fuel leak.
Fuel fitting on the fuel rail was loose. Just sprayed fuel all over the turbo.
And it ignited, and then they were able to put it out. Michael Essa, who is a great driver and very smart man, found a fire extinguisher, and he put everything out.
Well,
So-
he saw the fire coming out of the hood and then realized that it was an engine fire and nothing inside the car was on fire, so he safely pulled over at the first flag station he saw, ran out, grabbed a fire extinguisher and put it out himself.
Pretty much saved the car. Yeah. Let's go see what Chris is doing. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, those are your day off.
Yeah. Come to the track, they said.
Yeah. Come to the track and hang out.
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to
So the car still fires up and everything?
Because
think so.
Oh yeah, you were also with us when we were asking. So
Yeah. So my answer is still the same.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Hard maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll leave you to it. I'm gonna walk. Have fun on your day off. Yes.
Everyone's fixing.
Yeah. Lunch, man.
Wow.
What? What are we looking at?
You know, this like oil.
Oh yeah, that's what happened right here. Right? Yeah. So, meanwhile, we're just waiting for our Popeye's chicken sandwiches to come back. Was it? Oh, the CSF booth. That makes sense. Yeah. Wow. Titanium rods right here. Wow. Interesting.
Jay's kit, right?
Jay's, yeah.
Like Zhang's kit?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is. Aren't you driving Porsches these days? Hi, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
What is happening here?
Oh, just this old man working on this car.
Yeah, just some old man.
How's it going?
You need help with that?
I do.
No?
I'm not computer literate.
Me neither. So.
Yeah. Then go away.
I've never actually seen this car before in person.
Really?
I don't think so. Maybe at IBOC?
Yeah, I was at IBOC.
Yeah.
So, K24 turbo, built motor. Garrett is a GT3076. I forget what its size it is. It's some
Sounds about right.
one that it's old turbo technology. But
Yeah.
it's full race. They helped us with it. Gosh, when we originally built it, probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It actually came off this kit was on my 01 Civic. And then we put it here to Time Attack. So capable of about 550, although we've been running around 350, 400.
Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, just trying to save the transmission.
There's a lot of really old school stuff on here.
Yeah.
The
There's a
AM
lot of
fuel
really-
rail.
Yeah.
You're still running an RRC manifold? Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, you boost. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're trying to make 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're
it's-
actually
it's-
turning it down too.
Yeah,
so.
it's well within the limits of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I actually have a new piece that bolts on the bottom that makes a center feed. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
It's not on this one. I'm gonna put it on when I redo the car,
Nice.
and that should actually help a little bit, free up the air a little bit.
You've been running like VTEC Club and stuff too, right?
Yeah, we have. In fact, we're going to run a lot of them this year. So we're going to bring a bunch of cars, actually. In fact, we were discussing on the drive here every single class. We chose 3 cars for each class to build. So we're going to go back and figure out which one is the easy button on each one, and build a couple cars for VTEC Club.
Yes. That's good. Is Andy gonna drive all of them?
No, I'll drive one. I'll drive one. His wife, Carter's wife, will drive one. Kiana, Andy will drive one, and you know, who knows who else.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some other guest drivers out here.
Nick Durr.
No. Oh, come on,
I
Ryan.
haven't been on the track since.
He's retired.
I haven't been on the track. Well, I have. I've been on recently, but it doesn't really count because I hadn't been on the track for like 10 years before that. So.
When was the last time you were on there? Like 10 years ago.
Probably like 7, 8 years ago.
7 or 8 years.
Probably like FF Battle 3.
Before it was cool, yeah. This chassis mounted weight.
It was funny. I used to do these little dinners because I had this like house sitting, and so we had the sub 2 club, and so any Honda FF that is run sub 2 got invited. And
Holy
there'd be, like,
shit,
20
dude! This door is like so light.
There was like Tony Jackson, and there was like I invited Kensu and he never showed up, but like any of the Honda guys that would run sub 2 would get to come to my dinners. You know, I cooked for everyone. It was fun.
So probably like Charlie.
Yeah. Charlie was there.
Man, this is definitely bare bones in here.
Yes. So this was like an SCCA touring car long ago. This thing hasn't been a street car since I think it was new.
Oh wow,
So
okay.
this was like a Taz Harvey car.
So it's got some history to it, huh?
And then like we cut a lot of the cage out of it to lighten it up and then put stuff back in where we needed it. It's currently owned by Brian's brother Keith Gillespie, but he was nice enough to let us continue to run it with this engine until we get to go do something awesome, and then it'll probably become an SCCA racer again. But
Damn.
it's set up to go.
Yeah, it's like everything.
So it's got a full fuel cell in it. It's got a quick, underneath this little trap door is the rig, so like the dry brake rig. So like an Enduro, someone can run up with a big dry brake and just shove it in there and it won't spill.
Oh shit, okay.
For like putting 10 gallons in like just a few seconds. This wing's pretty dialed back, but this was a custom piece.
Was it like a chassis mounted thing?
Yes, it does. It's mounted to the roll cage.
Oh, okay.
So it pushes down on the chassis. I have the Chronicle sticker down there on the
at some point.
diffuser. Takes like an angle to get.
It's got like some depth to it. Yeah.
I kind of went off track a little bit earlier. The diffuser's been shrunk down a little bit because it looked like Children of the Corn when it was new. But it's working. And the guys are really good. There's just that sound when you hear like the wrench slip and like they keep working and I'm like, oh no, it's better.
I just like how the livery is just pieced together.
Oh totally, I did this. I like flew out to Hasport and stuck it on.
Yeah, it's really just pieced together.
Yeah, so my buddy, one of my best friends from junior high school, now is an artist at Disney. And so the original Circuit Monsters took him like 45 minutes to draw them up. Like I just sent him pictures of race team people.
Yeah.
And he drew them up and I was like, no, they look wimpy, give them battle armor. So then they got some battle armor put on them.
Yeah.
And then for Hasport, we kind of changed it up. So the same characters are, so I sent him a picture of like a K20Z turbo and like had the team go to work. There were some complaints about the girl wearing the halter top, and so I was like, okay, we're putting her to work. So she's
not that she has robot arms or anything, but she has boobs. So.
Yep. Well, you know. Moving on. She's also got some battle armor. She's a badass. And the only one that's actually doing anything really. The driver kind of stands around. This guy's kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
And then I sent him pictures of like jack stands and axles and engine mounts. So there's just kind of parts kind of scattered all over. And yeah, you look up the wrap up close and you can see that some like an amateur.
It's not laid out the same way for the CRX though.
Right, so it's different artwork.
Yeah, completely different, right?
It's like, this is I just pulled artwork off the shirt for what's on the
Oh yeah, I still have my
CRX.
shirt.
Oh, right
It's in mint condition.
Nice. What are the old ones out there?
Yeah.
But man, if they put a slice of cheese on this, and then have Chick-fil-A sauce with it, pepper jack.
How was it, Kristian? Please describe it to us.
Why do I have to do it?
Because you're very descriptive.
It's good. It's really good. I mean, are we gonna kill somebody for it? No, but it's Popeyes. It's my favorite. It's my favorite fast food chicken joint. It has the best Popeyes flavor. It's got the Popeyes breading, and then I feel like it's all ties it all together with the bread. It's only 4 ingredients.
It's a smorgasbord of deliciousness.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of fancy chicken places because chicken sandwiches are hot right now.
Yeah.
They do the coleslaw on it. They do kale or arugula in it with all this stuff. You don't need any of that. This is all you need. It's
Better than
4
Chick-fil-A's? What about Hattie B's or whatever? I never tried that shit either.
I haven't had it before. Good.
Howlin' Ray's.
Howlin' Ray's or...
I like Howlin' Ray's too.
Never tried it.
Oh.
I like Howlin' Ray's, but I'm also not gonna wait in that line.
Yeah, that's also not worth getting power bombed into a trash can for. I mean, people be fighting over this shit all the time, so...
It's pretty good though. The bread is really good.
Only had cheese.
Do you think it's potato bread?
Yeah, yes?
Yeah, you said the density is good, and I think the bread has a good density. A little buttery.
I usually don't like pickles in my sandwiches.
Yeah,
It's actually really good.
but it adds some contrast.
Yeah, and it's juicy, but it's not oily. Like, it's good. It's good chicken. I don't know what kind of chicken this came out of because that's a huge That's a huge chicken
Yeah,
breast, you know?
mutant, like GMO
Mutant,
chickens, yeah.
But I'm all about the GMO chickens.
Ooh, the pickle is kind of spicy.
It's just spicy sauce under the pickle.
I don't think so. Just a spicy pickle.
Can you do a spicy pickle?
Genetically engineered
Pickles. Jalapeno pickle?
Yeah.
crossbred.
This is the most exciting thing that's happened.
Yeah, we can't even get a lap in, but we got some chicken sandwiches.
I'm bummed. I fucked up that last corner in that car, and then passy broke. It for sure would have been a 47.
Wait, what broke?
I fucked up the last corner, and it was like a 47 lap, and then Ryan Passey's car broke, so they had a safety car out there. I couldn't do any more laps.
Oh, fucking A, yeah. That was like yellow flag the whole session.
Yeah, sucks. Fucking hell.
Does the casing have to come apart at all, or just that?
No, you just have to take that. There's like a right here. Where's your transmission?
Oh, the transmission's at
There's like a retaining bolt. You take out a Allen head, and then there's the 4 bolts on top. You pull it out. Okay. You shove the other one in. Put the retaining bolt in. You'll be able to get 2 of them in easily. Maybe all 3.
Okay.
But what about the ECU?
No, that's a good thing Brian is from hospitals here. Brian knows everything.
You just have to default to.
You just have to default to VSS to a constant speed.
I told him I was like, the trans blew, and then he's like, well, it's rear wheel drive. So it's pretty hard on him. Like, that's why he never developed a kit for it.
Because this is a 12 volts with that ground, I tell you. It's obviously going to hold more because that's what the drag racers use, but
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Because if we're using a GearX 1 through 6, and I just like go with third.
how much is a GearX?
Like gear set wise?
Yeah.
Like how much do they say to hold or
How much does it cost you?
Oh, I don't know. 2,500, 300.
For another 2,500, you can put the sequential.
I can't. Otherwise, that's what I would have done.
Why can't you?
It's street class. Because then I would have just put the knife in there. Yeah, because if it was legal, I would have.
Okay.
The only thing I'm thinking is like maybe a PPG set.
Yeah, either one. They're all pretty much the same as far as the strength goes. And that's the big problem. This is why we never made the swap kit for this, because I knew the transmission was just going to blow up. Yeah. There's too much traction on the rear end.
Yeah, second if we went into third, just put it to third, put the power down, just
Boom. Yeah. As soon as you make more stock power, you're gonna, particularly with a tire like this, you're just gonna blow them up.
Yeah, so that's why I don't know. Like maybe now the thing is just to go dog box.
That's what I would do. But the other option is keep one of the drag racing gears.
Oh, like the stock. I was thinking about having like a spare transmission that has the drag race 1 through 4 kind of like OEM gears, like a Honda. You guys use the HPD third?
The HPD third is like a drag racing third gear. You can do that, but you still have the problem with, because you have all 6 gears, the shafts are too long and they bow. The whole idea of the 4-speed is to put a handcuff on 5th gear to keep it from bowing.
Because that's what I think. I need to put a handcuff on it because I think like the 6-speed, it's just it's bowing way too much. That's what I thought was going to happen, and then I talked to a couple guys, and they're like, "No, I'll be finding your power level." But I told them
it's not the power; it's the tire. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, because it doesn't wheel spin; it just hooks up.
It just hooks up. Yeah, and that's why it always is 3rd or 4th gear, because it's the middle of the shaft where they bow, and they just work their way out to the edge of the tooth. As soon as it breaks off the end of one tooth, it takes them all off.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. 3rd gear, you can hear it; it started like box rocks in there.
Yeah.
So, I think for the future, maybe I'll do a 4-speed with a handcuff.
Right.
Maybe like so I think that'll be the test thing to do.
Yeah, and then I would go ahead and do the drag racing gear, because then you can also do a dog box.
You said the drag racing gears, you mean the HPD ones or the actual like
anybody,
anyone's
anyone.
That's what you're supposed to be, but no good.
Yeah, that's what you have in this.
It's a GearX 1 through 6 full like drag racing.
Oh, okay.
But it's a 6-speed, so
the problem is 6-speed. The shaft is both. So
maybe I mean if I can.
So you can still run these. You just run the handcuff on it.
Yeah, that's what I think we're gonna do. Because we replaced the main shaft and everything that's supposed to be to make it reliable. But I think that's gonna be the trick.
You might try having the shaft heat treated again, or maybe cryo treated. Maybe that'll make it. What you're trying to do is get that outside little slipper, and then maybe it'll flex a lot.
Because I'm like GTR transmission, right?
Same thing. Here.
Okay. So what do they do with the GTR? Do they cryo treat them, or do they just make new ones? Okay.
No,
they just change the transmission once a month.
Yeah. I'll confirm once I get back, and then that way, this one thing is.
We need to go borrow an engine.
Waste?
Yeah, an engine waste, just so it makes it easier to pull out the transmission. I'm lazy.
You know who's free right now? Chris Eimer.
You got hella people.
Chris.
You got. Well, once it's on the jack stand.
Stay off, man.
This is the Japanese just working on everybody's cars.
Yeah, look at this.
So
It's easy to remove. I literally just pulled the trans.
you're gonna go pick up the trans right now?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah, I can lift it.
Can you open the gate and have the trans at the same time?
Wait, Saturday, it's open.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
open.
If you get back in time.
Oh my god.
Really not us. No.
I don't have a regular wire.
I help you, but I'm holding the GoPro. So what we've learned thus far, if you want to case swap your NSX and do time attack, is to run the best lap possible before the transmission blows up, because it will.
That's literally
Yeah.
that's why I was so salty about that car earlier. I was like, God
Yeah.
damn it, I should have been at like a 47.
It's like not only a race against the clock, it's also a race against the tranny blowing up. Yeah.
We've tested everything except for the transmission. The car hasn't run long enough, so now we're testing limits of the transmission.
Yeah.
If you get it loose, I could probably get it with the electric ratchet up top of the 19. Okay.
Yasu just understands how to make good content, that's all.
Huh?
Just stand on Christian's chest. Just stand on his face.
Oh my god.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
There are easier ways to do this, but
Yeah.
this is it.
We got him the toolbox to stand on, but the toolbox isn't high enough, so it's too small.
Sure. I might take you up on that. I think it's losing fourth. I think it's losing fourth. I think so. It felt like you get on it and you kind of like every now and then. I don't want to risk blowing it up. So yeah, we're good. It's not gonna go in. Yeah, this session, the car's too loose right now. It's set up for the car's set up for first thing in the morning, so it's really hard to drive right now. Maybe if I disconnect the rear sway, but I don't want to blow it up. It's done. So disappointing. Sorry guys.
No, it's all good, man.
Thanks for everything.
You recorded that 50. Yeah, right?
Good luck, man.